Hello, everyone. Welcome back. And if this is your first time joining us, we are truly glad you are here today because this is one video you absolutely need to see. As of today, the Social Security Administration has formally introduced a significant rule update, and it impacts millions of seniors and retirees throughout the nation, quite possibly you as well. Now, I understand that government announcements can seem daunting or hard to follow, but relax, friends. That is precisely why we exist. We are going to explain this in clear, straightforward terms. No technical language, no complications. Here is what matters. This is not a small adjustment. We are discussing changes that could directly affect your monthly payments, your qualification status, and the funds you have spent your entire career building. Whether you are currently collecting Social Security or nearing your retirement date, learning about this development today could truly shape your financial outlook. You are entitled to transparent, truthful guidance, and that is exactly what we intend to deliver. So, remain with us for the entire video because every single detail counts here. And if you consider this useful, and we believe you will, go ahead and press that like button to help us connect with more seniors who deserve to hear this too. Now, before we jump in, I just want to mention something briefly because I genuinely mean it. So many of you reach out to us. You post comments, you tell your experiences, and truthfully, it means everything. You are the motivation behind what we do. And today in particular, understanding that this content could sincerely help safeguard your earnings and your sense of security, that makes this one of those videos we feel especially proud about releasing. So, thank you for showing up, and let us dive right in. Let us begin with the broader picture, because background matters. The Social Security Administration does not implement dramatic changes very frequently, and when they do, it usually cascades through the lives of tens of millions of Americans almost instantly. What is unfolding today in 2026 is the product of policy modifications that have been under consideration for quite a while, but now they are no longer merely proposals. They are concrete, they are operational, and they begin influencing people right now. So, what precisely has shifted? Well, the first and arguably most discussed update relates to the earnings threshold for those of you who are collecting Social Security benefits but are still employed. This is something that confuses people regularly, and for good reason. For years, if you were below full retirement age and still generating income from employment, there was a limit on how much you could make before Social Security would temporarily reduce part of your benefits. That ceiling has been revised for 2026, and it has increased. This is authentically positive news for the working retirees among us, and there are quite a few of you out there, incidentally, because an increasing number of retirees are opting to remain active in the labor market, whether driven by financial need or simply because they enjoy their occupation. Both motivations are entirely legitimate, and now the guidelines are somewhat more favorable toward you. But here is where it becomes truly critical to focus, because the earnings threshold operates differently based on where you stand relative to your full retirement age. If you have not yet arrived at full retirement age, the revised limit permits you to earn more before any reduction begins. And if you are in the exact year that you will attain full retirement age, that pivotal year, there is a distinct, elevated threshold that covers the months preceding your birthday. Once you pass that point and formally reach full retirement age, the earnings cap vanishes completely, gone. You can make as much as you desire without Social Security affecting your benefit total. That has always been the regulation, but it bears repeating because many individuals are unaware of it. Now, let us discuss something that touches practically every single person viewing this video, and that is the cost of living increase, what most individuals recognize as the COLA. Each year, Social Security payments are recalculated to match inflation based on movements in the Consumer Price Index, and for 2026, that recalculation has been implemented. Now, I want to be straightforward with you here because I believe you merit candor more than you merit exaggeration. The COLA for this cycle is moderate compared to some of the bigger boosts we witnessed in prior years when inflation was truly accelerating, but it remains an increase and every single dollar counts, particularly when you are surviving on a fixed income and watching food prices, energy bills, and medication costs rise month after month. What this translates to practically is that if you are presently receiving Social Security, your monthly deposit should show the revised amount beginning with your January payment or your initial payment period of this updated benefit year, depending on your particular timeline. If you have examined your recent bank records and spotted that your deposit is marginally larger than it was previously, that is the explanation. That is your COLA boost arriving in your account. And if you have not spotted it yet, it is worth having a look. And if anything appears unusual, we will address a bit later what options you have. Let us proceed to another substantial change, one that is especially meaningful for those of you who are nearing retirement and attempting to determine the optimal moment to start your benefits. The full retirement age, which is the age at which you become eligible for your complete, unreduced Social Security payment, has maintained its gradual progression. For individuals born in specific years, the benchmark has shifted modestly, and this is something that perplexes many people because it is not a universal figure. It hinges entirely on your year of birth. The SSA maintains a timeline for this, and if you were born in 1959 or 1960, this is especially pertinent to you right now, because your full retirement age falls at 66 years and 10 months, or precisely at 67. And that difference carries tremendous weight when you are evaluating whether to file early, right on schedule, or postpone for an even bigger payment later on. Regarding postponement, let us spend a moment truly exploring that approach because it is among the most impactful financial choices a retiree can make, and yet it is among the most widely misinterpreted. Each year, you hold off on claiming Social Security beyond your full retirement age up through age 70, your payment expands by roughly 8% guaranteed each and every year. In the current financial landscape, that is a remarkable return. Now, naturally, postponing is not the correct path for everybody. Your wellness, your alternative revenue streams, your partner's circumstances, and numerous other elements all factor in. But if you are in solid health, if you possess other means to handle your costs for a couple of years, and if you are contemplating longevity and sustained income protection, waiting could translate to hundreds of dollars extra per month for the remainder of your life. That accumulates to tens of thousands of dollars across an extended retirement. It is worth calculating those figures. Now, here is something we truly want to ensure you are aware of, because it is a development that has been sparking considerable discussion in the senior community, and it concerns Supplemental Security Income, or SSI. SSI differs from standard Social Security retirement payments. It is a needs-driven program for individuals with restricted income and assets, encompassing many seniors and persons with disabilities. There have been revisions to the resource caps and income assessment guidelines for SSI beneficiaries in 2026, and these modifications are intended to update a program that, honestly, had not adapted to the conditions of contemporary life for an extended period. If you or a loved one collects SSI, it is unquestionably worthwhile to contact your nearest Social Security office or browse SSA.gov to comprehend precisely how these revisions might influence your individual case. And while we are mentioning SSA.gov, can we just pause briefly to strongly urge you to establish or refresh your My Social Security online profile if you have not done so already? I understand. And not everybody enjoys working through websites. And that is perfectly reasonable. But this resource has grown tremendously useful. Via your individual profile, you can review your complete earnings history, examine your estimated benefit totals at various claiming ages, modify your direct deposit details, obtain replacement Social Security cards, and now, with the 2026 revisions, you can additionally reach new notifications and warnings that will inform you proactively if anything shifts with your benefits. That level of transparency is truly empowering. And if you have a relative or a dependable friend who can sit beside you and assist you in getting it configured, it is absolutely worth and just reconnect with you because this is substantial information, and I want to confirm it is registering. If you are finding this beneficial, if you are reflecting, wow, I was unaware of some of this, or this genuinely relates to my circumstances, please do us an enormous favor and press that like button right now. It sincerely helps us connect with more seniors who require this precise information. individuals who could be overlooking benefits they have earned, individuals who could be choosing based on obsolete regulations. Your single press on that like button can create a genuine impact for somebody else. We would truly value it, and we value you. All right, let us continue because there is additional territory to address. One of the other substantial discussions occurring around the 2026 SSA modifications involves spousal and survivor payments, and this is a domain where numerous couples, and widows and widowers, frequently forfeit money simply because they are unfamiliar with the guidelines. If you are married, divorced following a lengthy marriage, or widowed, there could be a payment accessible to you derived from your spouse's employment record that matches or even surpasses what you would collect on your personal record. The regulations surrounding when you can apply for spousal payments, how they correlate with your individual payment, and what occurs with survivor payments when a partner dies, all of this carries particular stipulations that have been clarified and, in certain instances, revised in 2026. This is notably significant for women who statistically possess lower career earnings and consequently lower personal Social Security payments, but who may qualify for considerably more through spousal or survivor arrangements. And let us examine something that receives far too little focus, which is the effect of Medicare premiums on your Social Security deposit. Here is something that catches many people off guard. Medicare Part B premiums are automatically subtracted from your Social Security payment if you are participating in both programs. That indicates when your payment rises because of the COLA, a portion of that rise can be counterbalanced by a jump in your Medicare premium. This is termed the hold harmless provision when it functions to your advantage, but it is a mechanism that can occasionally cause your actual net increase to appear smaller than you anticipated. Grasping this relationship is essential to planning your budget accurately and not being startled when your deposit does not grow by as much as you had assumed it would. There has additionally been revised direction in 2026 concerning overpayment collection, and this is something that has been a real cause of anxiety and difficulty for numerous Social Security recipients in recent times. There were situations where the SSA discovered overpayments, occasionally spanning years, and then required repayment in ways that were forceful and honestly devastating for individuals on fixed incomes. The revised guidelines feature stronger safeguards, prolonged repayment schedules, and enhanced waiver procedures for people who genuinely cannot manage to return funds they received in honest reliance. If you have ever gotten an overpayment notification and you are uncertain how to proceed, please understand that you possess rights, you possess alternatives, and you should never simply agree to a repayment request without raising questions and investigating whether a waiver pertains to your case. And lastly, let us examine something that connects all of this, which is the significance of remaining knowledgeable and remaining engaged. The regulations governing Social Security are not fixed. They develop, they get modified, they react to financial conditions and governmental choices and population changes. What held true 3 years ago may not hold true now, and the consequences are substantial. We are discussing your monetary security, your self-sufficiency, your capacity to enjoy the retirement you labored decades to construct. Keeping current with these developments is not merely a pleasant thought, it is authentically essential. That is why being part of a collective like this one carries such weight. You are not working through this by yourself. Every time you appear here, every time you watch, distribute, or pose a question in the comments, you are part of a network of individuals who are watching out for one another, and we are here watching out for you as well. We are going to continue delivering the most lucid, most direct analyses of every significant Social Security and retirement development we can identify, because you are entitled to understand what is occurring with your finances, your payments, and your tomorrow. So, do not leave, because in the upcoming portion of this video, we are going to guide you through some particular action items you can pursue right now to guarantee you are not overlooking anything that these 2026 modifications have opened up for you. Tangible things, concrete things you can accomplish today or this week to safeguard and potentially even grow what you collect. Remain with us. It is arriving right after this. All right, we have addressed an enormous amount of material today. And if you have remained with us this far, sincerely, give yourself some recognition, because the reality that you appeared, that you invested the time to sit down and genuinely absorb something this significant, that reveals a lot about you. It reveals you are somebody who treats your financial future with gravity. It reveals you are somebody who recognizes that understanding is strength, particularly when it involves defending the income and the payments you have dedicated your whole professional life accumulating. And we feel that warrants being recognized. So, let us consolidate everything, because a solid summary is not merely about echoing what we stated. It is about ensuring it remains with you. It is about guaranteeing that when you step away from this video, you are not merely aware, you are prepared. The 2026 SSA regulation modifications are not trivial bureaucratic adjustments hidden in governmental documentation somewhere. They are actual, functioning updates that influence the daily monetary existence of millions of seniors and retirees throughout this nation. And now, you are among the individuals who genuinely comprehends what they contain. The earnings threshold for employed beneficiaries has been raised upward, which indicates if you are still generating revenue from employment, you have slightly greater flexibility before any deduction activates. The cost of living modification has been incorporated into payments, which indicates your monthly deposit should demonstrate an increase. Modest, certainly, but genuine and consequential. The full retirement age persists in its measured progression, which indicates, if you are nearing that landmark, you must understand precisely where your birth year positions you on that calendar before you render any filing choices. SSI resource and revenue regulations have been brought current, which is long overdue and could truly assist some of the most at-risk individuals in our society. Overpayment collection standards have been revised with enhanced safeguards for beneficiaries, which is a substantial advance toward equity. And the instruments accessible to you through your individual My Social Security profile have grown, providing you greater awareness and authority over your personal payments than ever previously. That is considerable transformation occurring simultaneously, and the single most critical action you can execute right now, today, not the following week, not whenever you find the opportunity, is to make at least one definitive move to confirm these modifications are functioning in your benefit and not passing you by undetected. If you have not accessed your My Social Security profile lately, that is your initial move. Navigate to SSA.gov, log in, or establish your profile if you do not possess one yet, and examine your earnings history and your estimated payment totals. Verify everything appears correct. Verify your personal data is up to date. Verify your direct deposit specifics are accurate. This requires less time than you might imagine, and the reassurance it provides you is completely worthwhile. If you are still determining when to file for payments, and you have not arranged a thorough review of how various filing ages would influence your monthly total, this is the occasion to accomplish that. Employ the calculators on SSA.gov or telephone the Social Security Administration directly at their assistance line. You can additionally visit your neighborhood Social Security office face-to-face if that feels more at ease, and there is completely no embarrassment in that. These are your payments. You contributed to this program. You are qualified to pose every inquiry you carry until you feel thoroughly informed and thoroughly assured. If you collect SSI and you are uncertain how the 2226 revisions to resource thresholds and revenue computations influence your qualification or your disbursement total, please contact them and inquire. Do not presume nothing has shifted. Do not presume you will mechanically be informed. Be assertive, because being assertive is how you defend yourself. And if you have previously gotten an overpayment notification, or if you obtain one going forward, please recall that you carry rights. You can petition for a waiver. You can contest it. You are not required to confront that circumstance by yourself or consent to conditions that would inflict true monetary suffering. There are supports obtainable, including complimentary legal assistance programs in numerous regions that focus on Social Security matters, and they operate precisely to assist individuals in exactly those predicaments. Now, before we conclude entirely, we want to express something from the soul. We understand that for many of you viewing, Social Security is not merely a category in a spreadsheet. It is the bedrock. It is what creates the distinction between existing with respect and existing with dread. It is the deposit that handles the groceries, the power bill, the prescriptions, the modest joys that make retirement worth experiencing. We grasp the gravity of that. We honor it profoundly. And we want you to realize that every video we produce, every development we dissect, every intricate regulation we convert into everyday language, it is accomplished with that awareness, with you in focus. You are not a category. You are not a number. You are a human being who toiled hard, who gave back, who made sacrifices, and who is entitled to collect every single dollar and every single payment that is legitimately yours. That is what fuels this effort, and that is what will continue driving us to appear for you week after week. So, here is our request as we finish up today, and we do not request frequently, so when we do, it truly carries significance. If this video assisted you, if it resolved something you were puzzled about, if it provided you knowledge you did not possess previously, please press that like button right now. It costs you zero. It requires 1 second, and it signals the system that this type of content deserves distribution, which translates to it connecting with more seniors, more retirees, more individuals who require it equally as much as you did. You will not merely be backing this effort, you will be authentically assisting someone else. And if you have a companion, a neighbor, a brother or sister, a parent, anyone in your world who collects Social Security and might be uninformed about these 2026 developments, please forward this video to them. Transmit it in a message. Present it to them at the dining table. That modest gesture of generosity could authentically create a difference in someone's monetary existence. Thank you for viewing. Thank you for entrusting us with your attention. And we will meet you in the following one. Look after yourself well.